Welcome to TechConnect. On this episode, we're going to learn how technology is reshaping public safety and the very important role that IT plays in that transformation. We're also going to talk about recent and upcoming tools such as AI, machine learning, drones, and real-time crime centers, and what that means for law enforcement officers on the ground. I am joined today by Crystal Combs, the Assistant Director of Innovation and Technology at the City of Charlotte. Crystal, welcome to TechConnect and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, David. I appreciate the invitation to join.
We're very excited to have you here today and to learn how you're using technology and to help public safety in Charlotte. Before we jump into some of the questions that I've got ready for you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and your role?
Absolutely. So I have been working with the City of Charlotte in some capacity since before Y2K, if I can date myself just a little bit. I actually started as a contract employee working for the police department to help them develop their records management system. CMPD has a custom developed records management system. So after that, I worked on so many projects for CMPD, came on as a full-time employee in 2005. And since then, I've moved up, so to speak. I became the director over IT for the police department, and then moved into a role where I was the director for public safety technology in general, police and fire, and our radio system. And now I have transitioned into the assistant director role, where I am now responsible for public safety, our enterprise applications, which includes ERP and several other applications used across the city, as well as our Charlotte Water Department. And, I'm learning about the different applications of technology in so many different lines of business.
Wow, that's a lot of experience, and you're definitely the right guest to have on our show today with that sort of background. It sounds like for years you've been bridging this, been supporting both IT and public safety together. So two different yet very critical functions. I'm curious, just from your experience over the years with these two different groups, how do you bring that together, and how do you make it all work for your organization?
Sure. So I think first, technology should be used always to solve a problem or to create efficiencies in business workflows. And understanding the business as much as you can really helps to start anticipating customer needs. Learning public safety operations, learning their workflows, that was paramount to being able to bridge the divide between technology and operations. And I think if I could provide 3 suggestions for bridging the divide, it would be to create strong relationships with your customers. In public safety, you have to earn trust. Trust is earned by taking action and doing what you say you're going to do. I found that was the best way to earn trust. And then also clear communication goes a really long way. Being able to proactively communicate when problems arise, keeping our customers apprised of status before they ask, and being sincere and truthful in our communication goes a long way to earning trust and being able to bridge that divide.
Oh yeah. Those sounds like great advice on that first piece. So really getting to support your customers and building trust with them. What are some things that you do in the IT department to build that trust with law enforcement officers? Are there some examples that you can share with us?
Oh, absolutely. Whenever I had new employees start in IT supporting the police department, one of the requirements was to do a ride-along. Because I feel like most people working in the public sector in the first place, they have a service aptitude. They want to support a mission that impacts the greater good. And so exposing them to up close and personal to the work that our customers do and our officers do, it really just provides a whole new appreciation of how technology is used. And it demonstrates the pain points for customers. So the majority of the time, I would see personnel returning from the ride-along, they were fired up, ready to implement positive changes to help their new friend, which is the officer they just rode with. And so we've also included IT personnel when our command centers open. We provide opportunities for them to see the RTCC and buy into the mission. And I find that law enforcement technology, it really has a cool factor.
Mhm.
And we should use that to our advantage whenever we're bringing our IT partners along.
That's great. I love those examples. And I think that that focus on, understanding what your customer needs and then having the IT team ride along with law enforcement officers, have that firsthand experience is so critical. And you can apply that, across industries. I think obviously more critical in public safety, right? Because there's a lot at stake to make sure that technology is adopted and used well, and understood by everybody. I'm just curious, how do you train and kind of roll out new technologies, and what's your sort of strategy to ensure that there is adoption with your customers?
Well, I think the most important thing is involving them throughout the process. It isn't IT working in back rooms and saying, "Hey, we think this is really what the officers need slash want." It's really working with those customers and getting their feedback along the way. And then one of the mechanisms that we've used several times is to have super users, essentially. So we would recruit specific folks from all around the department so that you would have a resident expert in that division, in that team, so
Mm.
that they can help promote the technology adoption.
We know staffing challenges exist. What technologies, from your perspective, are you most excited about to help officers do their jobs more effectively?
Well, I've witnessed so many innovations during my career, and each one brings excitement, but also a little bit of concern when first introduced as far as how we're going to apply that technology in common practice. In my opinion, some of the most innovative game changers right now are drones. Uh, there's so many use cases for drones in public safety, from DFR programs to active crime scenes. Drones can provide a number of force multiplier use cases. Another, of course, is AI. The ability to quickly index large amounts of data and query in plain language. That is honestly the panacea from my perspective. And like, I've always wanted to do that as a technologist. It's like, all of these structured queries, and you're limited to just oh my goodness, it's like opening up a Pandora's box. But also it's opening up a Pandora's box. I don't think we've even scratched the surface on the capabilities to analyze large data sets in the law enforcement context. New innovations are super cool, but I think the key to any new innovation is to implement it responsibly. And I'm Debbie Downer right now, but agencies should really vet the technology thoroughly. They need to understand any downstream impacts through education, through coordination with other criminal justice partners like legal, DAs, courts, understand how it's going to be perceived all the way through the adjudication process and not just the law enforcement component. And then finally, to provide policy around how the technology should be used as well as how it should not be used.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right on that from what we see as well, right? There's how do you embrace that technology in a positive way? And you're right. There's so many radical transformations now with large language models and leveraging that data to help law enforcement, to help protect the public, but at the same time balanced with those risks as well, which you outlined.
Absolutely.
Charlotte has invested in a real-time crime center. Can you walk us through what that looks like and help visualize for our audience what the real-time crime center is like in Charlotte?
Absolutely. So we did stand up a real-time crime center back in 2012. Some of the technology tools that we put in that center or made available through that center, video cameras, of course, across the city. We partnered very closely with our Department of Transportation to get a lot of their street cameras. We also had license plate readers in place. And then I actually have a favorite success story that I tell that kind of demonstrates the effectiveness of using license plate readers in conjunction with video cameras in the real-time crime center. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear
Oh my
it.
goodness. So we had a series of robberies in our city where the suspects were dressed in like military style body armor, riding motorcycles, and the subjects robbed a CVS in the city. And the Real Time Crime Center was alerted through CAD of a priority one event. So they immediately spring into action. They locate camera assets that were near the CVS and they were able to locate the two motorcycles on the cameras. And then they proceeded to follow the motorcycles intersection to intersection, picking up the next camera on the way. And they actually they followed them all the way into an apartment complex. So they pulled into the apartment complex. Well, by this time, officers were en route to the location, and they were able to identify the apartment number by the marked parking spot that the motorcycles parked in. So they went right to that apartment door, knocked, found the subject still dressed in the body armor with all the cash sitting out in the open. And so in my mind, that is the type of game-changing technology that when really used effectively, it can be an absolute game changer in fighting crime.
Yeah, that's a wonderful example. Thank you for sharing that and the details. And I mean, how exciting to see the technology that you put a lot of effort, time, and money into deploying, work like that and be that efficient. I'm sure there's many other situations as well in other cases where that's been effective like that. Shifting gears a little bit, you're a leader in your department, in the community. We know that leadership is necessary and helps really drive change in big agencies. What are the characteristics that you leverage inside of yourself to help lead change and to help build and establish trust with the community? What's your leadership strategy?
So, I mean, I know a lot of times, especially, the shiny object syndrome is what I call it. Agencies kind of get into a hurry to implement the newest and latest technology, fearing that they're behind. Oh my gosh, this other peer agency is doing stuff. They're so cool. We aren't there yet, that type of thing. But I really feel like, in the way that I've tried to drive technology in our city, is that the adoption of technology should be solving a defined problem. It's not a solution in search of a problem. It's a problem, and wow, look at this solution. This is going to fix it. So whether the problem's to improve process efficiency or provide a net new tool that's going to revolutionize their work, it's imperative, like I said before, to involve the users of the technology in the implementation, being able to set goals at the beginning of a new initiative, along with some baseline measures that help you demonstrate the value delivered to both officers and the community at the end of the day, is really important.
Yeah. A lot of it links back to what you said at the beginning of bringing people into that discussion and making them feel that they're part of that decisions. And that is leadership, right? That is getting the buy-in up front, and then, of course,
Right.
executing well, which is always a lot of work to deploy the technology itself.
Well, and David, I'll also say that it's really, really important to have stakeholder sponsorship, right?
Mhm.
So you need somebody high up in the department that indicates this is a priority, this is something that we want to do. And I have found that if it comes from, of course, the top of the chain of command, that there's a lot more people willing to kind of get in line and sit down and talk about what it looks like.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about some technologies there with the license plate and the video recognition. Are there anything else going on that you're seeing, years out from a public safety or law enforcement perspective, new technologies that you're excited about on the horizon?
Wow. There are a few, actually. One has to do with more safely being able to scan subjects entering public venues, that type of thing. I'm really excited about that technology. I feel like anytime we can help people be safer in those large venues and find less intrusive ways to search or to qualify people coming into that venue, is really going to help a lot. But I would never 5 years ago have thought that drones as a first responder would be a thing. And so I think that as long as we all keep our minds open, we could actually see a lot more, a lot of different technologies and new and improved technologies that will take us a lot further. Because if we look back over the last 5 years, we see hugely rapidly evolving technology. And I think we're just going to continue to see that at lightning speed over the next 5 years. AI is still in its infancy. in so many sectors. But I really see that becoming more normalized over the next 5 years as we get used to how it plays out again downstream, right? Because I think we have some hesitation to do AI adoption in many cases because we haven't seen it go through the full adjudication process. And until we do, we're not going to fully know how to respond to some of those things.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's been, as you're speaking, I'm thinking about how busy the last 5 years must be in IT in public safety, and then the next coming 5 years, right, with this quick adoption here of AI, and then a product like a drone, right, which have been around, but they're just now completely different because it's
Yes.
autonomous. It can do all this applications. Yeah.
Right? It's the application of the technology in different ways. And I think that that's what's going to surprise us is the application of technology in different ways and in different lines of business or sectors that we're going to see things come over to the law enforcement sector as well.
Yeah, yeah, it is an amazing time. Crystal, this has been an amazing session. I really appreciate you sharing behind the scenes details about how technology is being used at the city of Charlotte. You've obviously got a great leadership style, and you are a leader in this area, and I know our audience appreciates that. So thank you very much for being on TechConnect today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, David. It was a pleasure talking with you, and I really appreciate the invitation to speak today.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please hit subscribe. Stay connected with us so we can stay connected with you. I'm David Sholkovitz, and this has been TechConnect.